Hi guys, welcome to our newest episode about Geeks, about gaming, about podcast. I'm the Wilden, and this is
I'm Kendall.
it's Kendall.
What's up?
What's up? And we're here give you the latest, as we always do every week, the latest in news and gaming and the industry and streaming and things as a whole. Giving you some information, giving you our opinion on it. Because that's what people love, is other people's opinions and arguing about. So here we are. Yes, as you can tell, Kendall's a little pixelated today, but we're gonna make it work as long as she hears with us. Maybe one day down the road, when we get a little more production value, we'll be good to go. But for now, this is what we're dealing. Besides that, how are you doing, Kendall? What's going on? How are you today?
I'm doing pretty darn good. I just had movie night. We watched Twilight New Moon, and it was awful.
Oh, gosh, Twilight New Moon. I think that's where I stopped watching it. I think I watched the first or second one. I was like, nah.
You're like, whatever.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah, okay. I'm doing okay. I'm still struggling with certain issues that I've been having for way too long. But it's
Yep.
I don't know. It's well, wait till we get to the part of this podcast, because I do.
Oh, right.
I have a little bit more energy today, I think, than I normally do. So guys, we're gonna just get right into it with our howdy. Here's
our weekly discovery. Yay. If you guys haven't already found out, Steam is having a summer sale, and the prices are kind of insane. Wouldn't you say?
Yes. And yes, so much so I wish I had money for all that stuff, but yes, the prices, it's I don't want to say it's the most wonderful time of the year, but it's like, there's Christmas and then there's this. And
there's this. Yeah, I agree.
It comes every year. It always comes. It never fails to show up. It's the best time to buy a bunch of games that you'll never play, increase your Steam library, and just spend all your money. Just spend it all. I've gotten my fair share of Steam games in the past.
Yep.
From the summer Steam sale, and like I said, you get stuff and then you look in there. Like, I remember when I first won my laptop, and I was like, I can actually play games on this laptop, and I was like, looking at the stuff on Steam, I'm like, I don't remember buying any of this. But
yeah, you're like, but I have it, so.
yeah. So yeah, Kendall, I don't know. Are you getting stuff? Do you have anything specific that you're thinking of? You're like, oh, that's on sale. I'm gonna grab that.
Yeah, I've been kind of looking at it, and me and my roommates have decided, because I share the Steam. By the way, I don't have my own Steam account. I share it, yeah. And we're just like, because honestly, it's like, why have two Steam accounts when it's gonna be on one computer and it's gonna be, installed in one computer? So why have multiple Steam accounts? We are definitely looking at Mortal Kombat 11, just because that sounds fun as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
One day.
And then we're all Star Wars fans here, so we can get Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order for half the price, which is insane.
I do want to get that too. It's on the list.
What have you been thinking of? That's on the list?
Yeah, it is on the list. It's not, I don't know, because I always have a constant wish list, right, of games I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
So I just check whatever's on the list. There's some some Final Fantasy ones. There's certain DLC of ones that I just never gotten that's on sale.
Yeah.
A lot of the smaller indie ones, there's a detective murder mystery game called the Pain Street Killings. I've always wanted to try. It's on sale.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's old school ones all the Max Payne games. I always debate on that.
Oh, yeah.
I love Max Payne, and then I always see sometimes, especially the first and maybe second one, you have to do a lot to make it work. And part of me is still has a little holding up of maybe one day a remaster, maybe, but I don't know if that's a dream that's ever gonna happen. So I always have the debate of, will I get it or should I wait? And it's one of those things. And
but Yeah, that's what I like about the Steam Summer Sale, though, because it's not just like those big games. It's also, like you said, those like cute indie games. So that's really cool. But like, it's honestly, it's such a big sale. It is a matter of like, do I get this or do I get this?
Yeah, and then what happens is I'll think about it for the entire time it's going on, and then at the very last second, I'll be like, oh, I should get this, and then maybe I'll get this tomorrow, and then I forget, and I only get the one thing I thought I'd get.
Yeah.
And I'm like, daggone it, maybe next year. But yeah.
You're like, God.
Yeah, it always happens around this time of year. You know, and again, this is something I think we need right now. Like, be like, yay, give more money to Valve or whatever. Especially now that the EA games came right before this happened. So games like Titanfall 2 and stuff like that are discounted, you know?
I would say it's even nice during quarantine because we're all like a little low on income, you know? Or at least we're trying to save income, and like this is one way to save while spending.
Right. And we got nothing but time to kill right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good thing where you just realize too, like you start looking and you see and you're like, I got so many games that I got such a back catalog. I didn't realize how much of a back catalog I had. So you start seeing these games like, oh, I didn't play that one. Oh, I forgot about this one, or things of that sort.
Yeah.
You know, and then at that point, if you're ever in doubt of being, I need a new game to play, I'm waiting for next week's AAA, just go back to your Steam library and just look, and then you'll realize you got plenty. You're good. You're fine. But yeah, that starts at, how long does that go for? Like, it goes for like a week or so, right?
Honestly, I would say so.
Exciting. Yeah, so that's how we're doing this week. That's one of the few bright things about this week, I would say.
Yep, actually one of the very few.
We also have a sort of hot topic that relates to our main topic, but Kendall, if you want to just like cover this little portion of it, just what's been going on with our hot topic this week.
So most of you are Twitch viewers, Twitch streamers, just Twitch patrons, right? You may have heard of Twitch Blackout Wednesday. If you haven't heard of it, it is a movement that some people have called upon on Twitter. It started with Sir Caitlin on Twitter, and she's calling for a Twitch blackout. And it was to bring notice to abuse, racism, and sexual harassment, assault, and rape amongst Twitch streamers. And we were trying to make this a movement so that Twitch, the company, the corporation, would notice and handle it accordingly, because a lot of people think they haven't handled it accordingly. So this past Wednesday that just passed, a lot of streamers actually didn't stream, and they withheld their stream even though this is like their primary income. And unfortunately, it didn't get that far out there. Not a lot of people knew about it. A lot of people just shrugged it off, and we feel like it could have been better if maybe it had more limelight on the internet.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah, I know you didn't. I chose to do it. I was debating about whether I should do it or not, and I felt like, you know, I just want to do it to have some sort of place people can go just to play video games, a reminder of why, and this didn't happen, but people wanted to come in and either share their story or just have a place to feel safe. They were more welcome to come in, and just need a reminder of, oh, this is why we got into this, because it's a video game. So I decided to go ahead and stream a little bit. Did it really help my channel any? No, because people were like, oh, well, if you stream on this day and people do this pushback, it will help increase your number for channels. Like, not really. I didn't really do that. The numbers... No. I think the number of people watch overall seemed to lower.
Yep.
So, I mean, there was enough, but yeah, in the scheme of things, we can get into that later, how much that helped or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think part of it too was, I think people were saying because of the Black Lives Matter, we already had a blackout recently, and that having
which
another
was like
one again.
Blackout Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So
if you were trying to go on like specifically streamers in power on Twitch, and it just didn't get far enough.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
I just had this feeling that it wasn't going to go too far. So
yeah, and it also didn't help that Twitch themselves made a comment about it. I 3 days beforehand. Let me pull it up really quick.
I don't know what you just did, but you're a shining light on the stream now.
Oh my god!
I know what you did. I don't know, it's just because like Twitch is paying attention, or like crap, we gotta fix our or Discord or whatever.
I look beautiful, huh? Okay.
Like, how dare this girl be covered in 8-bit stuff? How dare it? Her beauty needs to be shined upon the world.
We can't make her pixelated anymore.
How dare
she has to be
the guy? We can knock him down a peg. It's fine.
Okay, basically, they said 3 days before Twitch Blackout Wednesday, we take accusations of sexual harassment and misconduct extremely seriously. We are actively looking into the accounts concerning streamers affiliated with Twitch and will work with law enforcement where applicable. We're thankful for the bravery shown by those who have come forward to speak about their experiences, and we are committed to working to make the streaming community safer for everyone. But a lot of people didn't think that was enough because we didn't see enough proof that they are doing things for the community. We didn't see the proof that they were actually taking it seriously.
Yeah, and I mean, things are starting to happen with that now. Some actions being taken now. Like the big one today is like the Dr. Disrespect thing.
Yeah.
We still don't know why. Supposedly, it seems more related to what's been going on from what people are saying their sources are telling them.
Yeah.
People first thought was like had something to do with maybe the music. They said no, and not only that, like apparently he's like perma-banned, like with all the rest. Like he's permanently banned.
Oh wow, perma-banned, huh?
Interesting. That's why I think it's because these people have been getting banned recently are supposed to be perma-banned.
No way.
The ones that have been associated with all these acts, and then apparently, yeah. So apparently, he's perma-banned. It said he had a multi-year contract for like $10 million.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. A year. I know he was having a TV show and all that going, so I don't know. Then people were updating saying, oh, like his emos were still alive, so maybe not. And then apparently that's been taken down too. So supposedly a select few only know why, but it seems to be related to stuff. He had banned before because, somebody took his stream and went to the restroom with it and did just dumb shit. And, he's had issues, in the past, like family-related issues. He did something really stupid back in the day he shouldn't have. But it is interesting, though. Because I know he's, like, done dumb stuff. But he was always I've had stream on once or twice here or there. I mean, he's an entertaining guy. And so I don't know if that's it, if he's done, or if he's
moving on to a different platform.
Does he bring the character back? Does he retire the character and start something new?
Yeah. I mean, it's a great character and people love him for it, sure.
I would assume between the two, I don't see him going...
He still has his YouTube channel. He's not banned from YouTube.
That's what I was going to say. He doesn't... Like, he just doesn't seem like he would go to Facebook gaming.
No, absolutely not. No.
So that only leaves one option left, really. So
who does Facebook gaming?
What? Yeah. Well, supposedly supposed to be the people from Mixer, but apparently that's not.
That's true.
That's what
we'll talk about that too.
That's what's supposed to be. Anyway, so so that's kind of broke today. So that's kind of related to that and all those stories. So well, we're going to jump into the Mixer thing here shortly, but we want to get some other stuff out of the way. What other stuff's going on? Oh, Epic's always got something going on. What's going on at Epic, Kendall? What do we got this week?
So going on, just like every other week that we have come across, we have some free games. This week is AER Memories of Old and Stranger Things 3, the game. Not the season, the game.
The game. Yeah, speaking of like 8-bit,
I know I'm back.
Yeah, I know. But that's the games in like 8-bit and stuff too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, and do you know what's coming out? Do we have ones for next week? I haven't even looked to see what's next
week. We do have ones for next week.
Yeah. Epic's like, don't forget about us. We got free games here still.
We got games for you, I swear to God. Next week is Conan Exiles. I have no idea what that is.
Oh, that's it.
And also Hue. Hue is actually really fun.
Hue?
Hue, like Hue, like the of color schemes, Hue.
Oh, really? I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, you like use colors to do certain things.
Huh.
It's actually pretty fun, yeah.
I'll have to download that. Conan
Exile? I have no idea what that is.
It's an online MMO. It's been around for a few years. It was free on PS Plus like 2 or 3 years ago. I tried it for like a half hour, 45 minutes. It was a little Resident Sleeper to me.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been around long enough. I guess it's worth giving a shot for some sort of community that likes it.
Yeah.
So, would pick it up.
I suggest Q. It's like if you like puzzle games, you'll like Q, and it is based off of colors, but they also have colorblind settings for it. So it's like pretty cool.
Oh, okay. You got me at the puzzles. So okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a puzzle solving game that you use colors to solve puzzles. Like you make your whole environment a certain color to see like secret doors or like boxes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So yeah, and it's like, I think the Conan game it's not based on anything prior. It's not based on the movies or anything like that. It's not. I don't know if it's based more on the comic or I think it might be more based on like the comic of it. Or like the original stories. I think it's a mix of the two. I'm sure there's like movie influences in it with like a proper MMO, but it's a little. I had a little bit of a Mad Max vibe from it, but where it's like part of it was like in a desert and there's some action, but
yeah,
like it didn't grab me like the Mad Max game did, which I recommend there. That's an extra recommendation. If you've never played Mad Max game, definitely worth playing out. I feel like it went under the radar a bit. I never finished it because it's a little repetitive, but it's way better than it has any right to be.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. I think that was also on PS Plus way back in the day.
PS Plus.
Yeah. Oh, PS Plus. It's been a minute.
I feel like we always bring that up every single time.
And I've quit PS Plus for like a couple months now, and yeah, I've talked about more than I've ever had as long as I've had it. Hey, I mean PlayStation, if you want, I'll work with PlayStation on anything. I know. Whatever. I mean, I'm wearing the Spider-Man game thing for crying out. I got the full PSX look going on for crying out loud.
You do actually. You really do.
Yes, that's what I got. All PlayStation and Sonic. Yeah, okay. Although they're a little under hot water too right now, but
yeah, but
speaking of PlayStation and well, not PlayStation exclusive, but yeah, apparently, so according to IGN. According to Wesley LeBlanc. I feel like we gotta tag to people. So they had like one of those, meetings. So sometimes a lot of news we get are from like company meetings or like Zoom calls, and then stuff gets, leaked out from that as far as information and games. So supposedly, usually at E3 every year, especially the last couple years, Bethesda has their press conference where they announce new games, which we still haven't heard anything about, like when the hell they're going to start talking about Starfield, which I have a feeling it's going to be on Keighley's thing. I think Keighley's going to get that. It makes most sense to me. And Square Enix also has their own conference as well. But since that's not happened this year, things have changed. Supposedly, they were actually going to announce like a good amount of stuff this year. Which, if you know Square Enix, what they'll do is sometimes they'll announce stuff, and then the game will come out for 20 years or so, and then they'll announce other things. But apparently, they have like several new projects. I guess enough to make, obviously to fill a conference. But what's interesting is instead of just doing the online version of their conference, they're gonna just roll announcements out sporadically, which I think is interesting. Because one, that's good for me to hear, because I mean, all we got is a new Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, and I'm still like on it.
Yeah,
because I love Kingdom Hearts, but it's whatever. And I'm just, they've done digital stuff in the past before, though, also, even with E3, so I guess that's why I'm surprised that they decided not to go ahead and do their own digital for Square, because they've done that before. So seeing word that they're spraying out, but it said basically between the next 2 months, they're going to sporadically announce new stuff. I don't know if you have any predictions. I know, because they work with, like, Crystal, so they got the Avengers game coming out.
I was about to say, that was it for me.
The Avengers game, I think... So this is one I'm not sure, because I thought that for the Harry Potter game... I'm not sure, because I thought Avalanche, who, like, works on the Just Cause games... was working on that, and I know they're working with Warner Brothers, obviously, but I know that they were at the booth last year for Square Enix. So I'm trying to remember if it's like Crystal, where it's a subsidiary of Square Enix.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I don't know if that counts. The only other thing I could think of is I know there's a couple more Kingdom Hearts games that they announced exist. They just haven't said anything about what they are. So we got the mobile one that's confirmed, the rhythm one. There's apparently a couple more. So
they always have those side games. As they came out with Kingdom Hearts 3, and they're just like, all right, now let's just release all these side games we're playing.
Yeah, I know, and they give me every daggone time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I know I'll be getting some of those stupid games. But I think the other obvious one then is it made Final Fantasy 16. If they didn't say we had several announcements and had like, oh, we had an announcement or two, I would be like, no. But now several announcements, I'm like, there's got to be a Final Fantasy in there.
Like, what if they're not having their own conference because they don't have enough material? You know what I mean? And that's why it's just spread out throughout 2 months.
I thought about that, but then the fact that they already were pre-planning on doing their own conference, and then they said they have several projects. It's like, why would you say that? You know?
Maybe it's like to keep the hype going on Square Enix, because like if they have one conference, then all the hype is just in that one day and maybe a few days after. So maybe they're trying to keep that momentum going for the whole summer.
I guess.
You know, I don't know.
I don't know, because, like, Bethesda, I think what you're saying makes sense for, like, Bethesda, because...
Yeah.
I don't think there was going to be a new Dishonored. They have that one new, the new shooting game by, the people that made Dishonored.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be no new Doom. Elder Scrolls is off the bat. So I'm trying to think of what else they would have. They always announce something new related to the Elder Scrolls Online, or that card game, or Fallout Online. But really, the only other game I could think of, like, this year would have been Starfield. We still don't even know when that comes out. I'm assuming it's either surprise end of this year or next year, but I can guarantee you it's probably next gen exclusive, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it was this year, it would have to be a surprise. You're right, if it was this year, but I don't know if that's something that's like they're surprising us with, you know?
Yeah, they did that with the last Fallout, so you never know.
Yeah.
But I'm down to see that, though. That's like the one thing that Bethesda's been way too quiet. Way too quiet. So I see what you're saying. But yeah, just like the Square's like, yeah, we got some games. I'm like, there you go, Square. Because I feel like they'll have a game or two here or there, but for them to have multiple games, I feel like doesn't happen that often. Also, to cover more stuff too, this is another thing. Now, I've never played this. So the game Disco Elysium, right? Apparently they're getting a TV adaptation of it. This is also, according to IGN. Matt Kim posted this, and it's originally sources Variety. But they're working ZA/UM. Is to partner with DJ2 to develop a TV series. No idea where that's going to end up, but it's also the guy that produced the Sonic the Hedgehog movies also involved.
I I don't know. I can't tell you. I've never played Disco Elysium, but I don't even know a person who has.
Yeah, and I haven't either. And when I look at it, it's not my kind of game. It looks like some sort of like, I know it's like an RPG, sort of Diablo-esque looking thing. And it's funny you say that, but I've never told anybody's ever played it, but critically, it's super high, and I think it won,
It won something.
At the Game Awards last year, I think it, won the most awards. I think
Let's find out!
It was one of those things, nobody had heard of it, but it took all the awards. It was, insanely hyped up, and, critically, it's, up there,
Oh, yeah.
Up there with, Last of Us 2 as far as the critics go, but apparently it's amazing. So...
Yeah, so it has the Game Award for Best Narrative, Game Award for Best Role-Playing Game. Mm-hmm. It has a BAFTA, which is,
the British film.
Something. Yeah. For Debut Game, Game Award for Best Independent Game back in 2019. A Game Award for Music as a BAFTA again, a Game Award for Narrative as a BAFTA again, and then a Game Award for Best Debut Indie Game.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and I think people started talking about more after award show, but then again, it died down, and I've heard nobody talk about it, but it's swooped up all these awards, so it's been this super hyped game, so... I don't know if I want to necessarily play myself or not. If it's multiplayer, I'd be down to try it with somebody, but otherwise it would be... Let's see, here's the description. It's RPG set in a futuristic world. You have no memory, and you have to solve a murder. And there's political factions and plot lines. And it gets a little bit weird and strange. That sounds on paper like a kind of game I would like.
Yeah.
But then some of it looks a little too tactical for me, too. Maybe... I just need to watch a stream of it, or maybe I'll go on YouTube and watch a Let's Play of it, because nobody ever streams it, I don't think.
I don't know, yeah. I just, honestly, maybe it's the friend group I'm in, but, no one talks about it. You know? It's, not in our train of thought. It's not in our line of vision, you know?
So, I'm curious how the show's gonna go, because that's why I was surprised. I was like, yeah, critically did well, and I guess it sold okay, but I was like, who's asking for this? But...
I know, and that's the question. Who's asking for it?
I don't know. Somebody else. I mean, it could be a really cool show in the concept.
It probably will be, but I don't know if it could gain the hype it needs if, I don't know, you know?
I mean, I don't think it's going to be a show that's on HBO. I could see it maybe being a Prime or
Prime, Hulu, something. Yeah. Not, maybe a little better than Netflix. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not as good as HBO. Yeah, I get you. I get exactly what you're saying.
But I think it's going to be one of those, it's going to be word of mouth, too. The trailer will come out, people start talking about it, and they'll be talking about how good of a show it is, and then people will be like, oh, that's based on the game, and most people won't know.
And then people will be like, wait, what? And then they'll look up the game, and then the game will get its cycle again. Yeah.
Some other stuff, a lot of announcements. This is a long episode, guys, not kidding. Also today, it's also according to IGN, Jordan Oloman writes, Tokyo Game Show, which I almost forgot about, to be honest. I know, I can't remember if we got dates for Gamescom online. I think they have those already. But, Tokyo Game Show, which, I can't remember if that's before or after. Tokyo Game Show and Gamescom and PAX West are, the last 3 cons of, the video game season of the summer. I mean, there's more cons after that, but as far as the big ones, that's the last 2, and I can't remember...
Yeah. I know it usually is at the very end of summer / the beginning of fall.
Okay. So maybe that is after Gamescom then. So they're also going to be doing their own online thing, and it's going to be from September 23rd to 27th, which is... It's that's a good amount of days.
Yeah. It's almost like a full convention, almost.
Yeah, with more announcements and stuff like that. Again, it's a convention I've never been into that's on the list. That, Gamescom, PAX West are on the list for me to go to. I've never been to any of them.
Same.
So, hopefully maybe one day we can go. So I'm curious to see what announcements going to be for that, because it's so late. I'm wondering what's going to be left. And the Tokyo Game Show, it is similar to Gamescom where it does have a variety of stuff. I mean, it is more focused on Japan.
I was about to say that, yeah.
But it's not like 100% only Japanese games. It's like maybe 50-50.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely will see a bunch of like very well-based international games like Kingdom Hearts and like Final Fantasy and whatnot. Those RPGs, but
I just wondered how it affects it because they just had that thing a couple days ago where they did the showcase of all the Japanese games coming locally. Like they had that on a Twitch stream earlier this week. And I'm wondering, the only thing I can think of is they're going to show stuff that's in Japan that's not going to appeal to us that we're not going to get for another year and a half. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
That's something to think about.
So I'm not exactly sure what that's for, but I'm going to be tuning in because that's what I do. Or at least try to. It's 4 days, though, too. That's also a surprise. I'm like, how much stuff do they have to... I think a lot of it...
That's 4 days.
I feel like maybe it's going to be kind of like a... like the Comic-Con Anime Expo thing that's happened this month where it's just gonna be a lot of panels.
Yep. I was about to say it kind of sounds like that whoever bought out panels or space will maybe have like their own section or something, like a time slot. That would be kind of cool, actually. If it was just like a virtual convention.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so I think that's what it might be. Because maybe Gamescom will probably be like that, too. And the E3, we don't know how the E3 one's going to be. I feel like all these are going to be very panel-based. And on top of all that, also, so we got some Last of Us 2. All right, so I know we said we were going to talk about Last of Us 2, doing another episode after this. Kendall hasn't finished it yet. So... probably next week we're gonna do a separate podcast episode based around Last of Us 2.
Yep.
I've recently finished it. There's a lot that talk about another controversial topic, but regardless, it's made some bank.
It did.
What we got, Kendall? What stats we have here?
Despite the mixed reviews that came out in just 1 week, they have sold more than 4 million copies. It is the best-selling game of PS5 so far. PS5. PlayStation.
Damn,
so
I was
far.
Like,
whoa. PS5. It's the best-selling game of PlayStation so far. Making 4 million copies sold worldwide where you can buy it.
And it beats, is it Spider-Man? Actually, I think it is Spider-Man that it beats, right?
Yeah. I was about to say, yeah.
Sony exclusive. Do we know how much of that is... I wonder how much of that's pre-orders. Uh-oh. Oh, there you are. You froze for a second.
They're kind of... Oh, no. I don't know. It hasn't said. They're just very excited that they did reach 4 million.
Yeah, that's...
No stats, but...
I wonder because it's so mixed, like how much that is pre-order or not. I wonder. But it doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter because it's still technically they sold it, you know?
Yeah, you can tell, like, that Neil Druckmann does not give a fuck about what we think. He made his money. He's ready and good to go.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
He doesn't give a fuck about people that hate that game. He does not.
And sales are still going up, even with all the mixed reviews. They're gonna reach some other higher number.
Well, I just hope they, use some of that to make sure everybody gets their equal pay. Everything's okay.
Yep. Ooh, that would be great.
Yeah. But yeah, and I was watching too, like, it's interesting in a game like that, watching, like, spoiler cast reviews. Like, I watched one with, like, there was a good one with Neil and Troy and Ashley. Kind of funny they did. Talking about the game was really good. Just different people's opinions on it. It's interesting. So I'm really curious to have that discussion with you. And then let's talk about, so we always talk about covering game events. We had 2 special events going on. First one was Avengers. So I haven't looked into too much. I didn't see it when it aired because I missed it, but I know that they teased MODOK was the villain, which was the rumor for a while that MODOK was the villain. They teased that officially. It does seem that Miss Marvel is kind of like the main character essentially.
Yeah, she's like front and center in like most of the promos.
Yeah, so if like you watch earlier stuff, the Avengers seemed to had the event that happened. They broke up, and then I guess she's the one to get them back together.
Yeah.
And they have gameplay specific missions. Again, it's like after watching this, I'm still not 100% sold. I might wait till the game comes out to get it. I don't think this is the one like Ghost of Tsushima or Cyberpunk where I'm gonna get it before it comes out or pre-ordered it. I'm still gonna kind of wait on it.
Yeah, I can tell you a lot of Marvel fans are super excited about it though.
It's awesome.
Just because it's Marvel, you know what I mean? I mean, you worked the booth at it.
Yeah, I did, and it wasn't gameplay. It was basically a game dev. You basically went in a room and watched one of the game developers play it at the time. It wasn't hands-on, which some people thought was kind of weird because it was supposed to come out like.
It's because it got pushed back. Yep.
Yeah, it was coming out right around when Final Fantasy VII was, and it's like they have a full playable demo, and this is like a month later. Mm-hmm. That's how you kind of knew.
And even with the release date, they pushed that a whole 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time to push something back.
That's a long time, but I'm glad. I'd rather they push it. I'm like I said, I'm still not a super fan of the look of it, but I mean, the footage I saw looked fun. I do like the idea of them having, because it seems like it's a mix of where you can like kind of choose who you want and then specific character missions. Mm-hmm. I like that. I like what I'm hoping for which might sound, is that there's gonna be like so many different varied missions, but you know that each one has their own thing, and then they add new characters and more missions for that. So I'm hoping for like a good amount of content. I know they got a season pass coming out that might add more of that content in. Again, that might be something I might wait on too if I do get the game. But they did confirm, though, I believe that it's going to be next gen as well. They did confirm that. Because it got delayed. So it is going to be coming next gen, I believe. I'm pretty sure. If you want to double check on that for me. But I'm pretty sure that got confirmed.
I mean, it sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. But again, it's the one I'm least hyped about right now.
Yep.
Okay, it is confirmed. Okay. So if it comes out and it's insanely, surprisingly good, I'm gonna get it as soon as I can. Also get like, if you're welcome to sponsor us, so you want to hook us up, we're down. But yeah, that was going on. They had a demo of that, and they had some gameplay footage and things of that sort. So I'm still, you know, it hasn't. Maybe it's got me a little bit more interested, but it hasn't like fully won me over still. And then we had another one later this week, which this one was the opposite. This one, it's a game that's already super hyped, and then every time it comes out new stuff, it gets even more hyped. That's Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk 2077, which also got pushed back.
Yes, but it's also confirmed for next gen as well.
It is, yes.
Supposedly get free upgrade. I'm assuming though that's only if you get digital. I'm still because I'm debating on getting.
Yeah.
I'm still iffy because I got it on disc, but I'm still wondering if I want to switch it up or not. But
I can't tell you. I remember last time we talked about it, I was like, I would get it digitally, but then I started talking with my sister, and she's gonna get it hard copy so that she could take a photo for her Instagram.
Oh, jeez.
So, hard copies are still out there and about doing their good old little advertising.
Couldn't you just, what they do now with all the new games is like, if you get digital, right, you have the little icon in your menu, or then once you hit it, they come up with some image, right? Like an image.
So you can always like stand next to your TV.
Yeah. You know, I'm like, whatever floats your boat, I guess. You know, I appreciate old school disc. I mean, don't get me wrong. But this footage got me all sorts of excited.
Ooh, you're gonna show us?
Oh, we could. We could show a preview of this. But what they did was they talked about story and characters, and they talked about basically it's a Batman detective mode. Like if you ever play in the Arkham games, they have a detective mode, and it's an updated version of it. It's like a more intense version of it, and he says like murder, like just like mystery, go inside people's brains and shit. It's great. And then there's also 3 different factions or 3 different ranks you can get. I can't remember exactly all the names. I think like one's Vandal and one's...
I get you, yeah.
But what's cool is, let's see if Cyberpunk Night City Wire, which they said they're gonna do another episode. They didn't say when, so they're doing other episodes.
Which is kind of cool. Like, it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, and this is from GameSpot, so I'm gonna just bring this up for a second as Kendall disappears off the screen.
Sylvester wanted inside.
Oh, okay. So you can see it here. Oh yeah. So yeah, this is like the detective thing. You can like pause, rewind, zoom stuff, all that. And yeah, and then so depending on how you start out in the game as well, depends on where you start. So you can start in the city itself, having like a decent apartment and stuff, or you can start as a person outside of the city, and then you have to like work your way into the city.
Yeah.
So, and the prologue, apparently, like everybody like in the industry's played about 4 hours of it. The prologue is super long, supposedly, which is good.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks so exciting to me. Everything about it.
Everything about it. Yeah, like more footage right there of it. Customization options are very. You get a lot of varied customization options. You can customize pretty much your whatever you want. Any part of your body, pretty much.
Yeah.
Including the every nook and cranny. You can choose different sizes. And I don't know why it's necessary, but sure. I'm like, I don't know how often.
But why not?
I know. Immediately, I was thinking. I was thinking of like how often are you be around naked in this game, and then I thought about how many Maka TOS things are there going to be in this game where we're going to have to constantly be like, crap.
Yeah. You're like, don't look,
again. And they know everything.
I know. Is it gameplay? Is it for a cutscene? What is it for?
And they have all this cool music. It sounds like it's music made for the game specifically, so I think DMCA is going to be taking a chill pill with it.
Oh, okay.
I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that. But, yeah, and they... there's, like, all different kinds of stuff, customization. I was watching like some of the interview after it, and they were asking these different questions and things of more detail. I would recommend checking that out, like every interview with the developer. And then they also announced the anime, which we really should have seen coming. It makes sense.
It does make sense, 100%.
Not coming out till next year though.
Yeah.
But they're making it. It's in Japan. It's gonna be on Netflix. We're all gonna watch that too anyway, because why wouldn't we? And yeah, this game just. It hits that niche, being like a fan of Ghost in the Shell and Blade Runner. I'm just ready to go and explore. I'm going to take my time. I'm doing one of those things where I'm going to stream it and take 30 minutes just in one room, I'm going to drive people crazy with it. And that's the other thing, too, I think that's good, because as, like, somebody who streams, especially when the big game's coming out and everybody's streaming, you have that problem of, like, oversaturation. And that still will occur, but I think it'll be less bad because since there is a different ways you can start out, there's gonna be it's not gonna be Last of Us where it's like I know I'm watching the same game no matter who's streaming.
Yeah.
So I think that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, I don't know how hyped you are for this, but this is like still my number one anticipated game of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hyped about it, but not as hyped as you.
Oh yeah. And there might be some like references to Witcher in there. The guy asked that, and he didn't like say necessarily no. You'll see a bunch of tall skyscrapers and buildings. He said developer. Excuse me, good lord, I'm dying here. I'm so excited about it. There's with buildings, you can't necessarily go on every floor of every building, but if you're on a certain mission, you'll go like a good distance. As far as how big the city is, they haven't technically measured it. They don't know. Ooh. They haven't done a test.
Okay.
But it's pretty big from what I've heard, because you have that, and then you have the Outlands, which is, I think, a part that hasn't gotten discussed that often. Part of it reminds me of, like, Final Fantasy 15 a little bit at the beginning. And you go see Sid in, like, her garage with the car and stuff. And all the characters. I mean, Johnny Silverhands. As soon as you get, everybody's going to get him right away as soon as possible. And yeah, it's just gonna be, every story's gonna be specific. It's gonna be unique and different. All the side quests, they were talking about not wanting to have too many. Oh, forget this person. They want to have like full legit stories for every single side quest there is. Yeah, and they're coming out with another one of these things. They're coming out with another one at some point. I'm assuming that's gonna focus more on like the actual action gameplay. Whereas this one was just kind of more story, character, and detective.
Yeah. You gotta spread it out and get people hyped on certain things, and then you're like, but wait, we got another thing coming, you know?
Yeah. We're gonna spend a while on this. I'm super excited on it, super stoked. And yeah, so that was like the two big game specific things we had this week. As far as what's coming up, I'm not sure what's going on this month. I know Keely's got some things going on. I have to double check. As far as what game specific stuff's happening in July, because I know some stuff's been pushed to August. There's a lot happening. So we'll check. I know this month is a lot of the anime stuff. So you know, as we come across it, I'll try to watch it and then bring it up on the podcast, so at least can discuss it. And maybe if Kendall comes across something too, we can make sure we point out to each other so we can watch it and give our opinion on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So that kind of wrapped up a lot of like the basic gaming news stuff. Now this is where the real stuff starts. Can you imagine?
I was waiting for this. I was like, man, this is gonna be a long one.
Yeah, I know. An hour in, and here we are.
I know, right? Oh, God.
Let's.
I'm sweating already.
No, seriously, I've been sweating. Back sweat, just. It's been hot today in LA though. Everybody's had the fans on, I'll tell you that.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my.
So, Weldon, tell me what's happening with Mixer.
Mixer? What's Mixer? Oh, that used to exist. That other streaming site.
I mean,
Mixer doesn't exist anymore. It's a non-thing. It's a thing
well,
of the past.
It's going to exist for another month. But after that, it's gone.
Yeah.
So basically,
it's called Facebook Gaming now.
Yeah, it's called Facebook Gaming now. Mixer, which was made by Microsoft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mixer, made by Microsoft, was just another streaming platform for all our video game lovers. And they weren't doing so hot. They knew that. So they bought a couple of big streamers to stream on their platform. Ninja, Shroud, Ewok, and they all had a pretty hefty penny from it. This past Monday, they just announced that Mixer is officially done and closing, and the last day you could be on Mixer is July 22nd. The worst part is that they have to abide by their contracts and still give that full amount of money to those famous streamers. So they're pretty much lost a lot of money.
And how much do you remember off the top of your head how much money it was? Because I do, but
was it 30?
Way more than Dr. Disrespect was getting, I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
yeah, $30 million a piece. For fill out the rest of their contract.
Insane, and they get to keep that.
And
insane.
Yeah. They can both still not stream, and that's the new talk now. Is where are they going? Are they gonna go YouTube? Or are they gonna go Twitch? Now the Dr. Respect's out of the picture. Is that gonna be a factor?
Yeah. I mean, Mixer is encouraging them to go to Facebook Gaming. Is Ninja, yeah.
Yeah, like how many people, seriously, how many people are really gonna go Facebook gaming? They have Toast, and then that's all they got.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Is Ninja gonna come back to Twitch after what Twitch did to his channel? What Twitch did? I'm air quoting what Twitch did to his channel. Is he gonna go to YouTube, even though he has said in the past that YouTube viewers are full of children and immature people?
It's good. Yes to either one of those, no matter what he said. No matter what he said, the amount of money he's gonna get, regardless of what he said on the platform, he's gonna show up on one of them too.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if you ask me between the two, I don't know.
Yeah, I almost feel like he might come back to Twitch.
I think so too.
Yeah,
as far as Shroud goes,
who knows about Shroud? I don't think he had a problem with Twitch.
I don't think so either.
Same with Ewok.
Because like Courage or whatever, right? He's the big one that got the big thing for YouTube, and he, I mean, him, Tin the Tatman, Ninja, they would all play together anyway.
Yes.
So part of me thinks like, oh, it makes sense for Ninja to go to YouTube.
Just to go to YouTube. Because their viewership of his friends are already there.
Right.
So might as well go to YouTube.
And they play together already.
Also, a lot of kids or not kids, I should say, but yeah, a lot of kids, a lot of viewers are going to YouTube also because when YouTube bought Valkyrie. Or Valkyrie.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, that's the new thing. All we know is that they're not coming back with some sort of contract. And that depends too. So let's say, like, does Dr. Disrespect go to YouTube? Does that affect YouTube being like, oh, well, we're going to get him, so we don't need to grab Ninja or Shroud. We'll grab one of them, but we don't need to grab both. Because now Dr. Disrespect is somebody they're going to grab. Or are they going to be like, oh, no, we could get 3 of them? Do they have the money? They probably do. They have the money to be like, if we get all 3 of them on our platform on YouTube, that is possibly the move that could really affect Twitch and make them an actual, like, real player in this. Like, I mean, it happened. They were always second, I think. Well, maybe it was like Mixer second. I don't know. Like, YouTube, whether it's second or third, but that could be really... that could be the thing. They got the 3 of them. Could put them equal terms with Twitch.
Yeah.
That would be a baller.
Can you imagine? Move. Can you imagine if they go to Facebook Gaming though?
No.
Can you imagine if they announce, "Hey, we're on Facebook"?
I don't. And then Ninja comes back with the blue hair. He's like, "Yeah, here we go again." Yeah,
he's like, "I've been foreshadowing it this entire time."
Oh God.
I want him to come to Twitch, dye his hair purple, and be like, Twitch for life.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Or maybe he can go back to hot pink and go to YouTube. You know what I mean?
I don't know, man.
I would love something like that.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, it really... yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I could see, even though Twitch kind of screwed him over, he had issues with Twitch, I could see him coming back to that too.
I could see him coming back 100%. He did good. He did good on Twitch, you know. I can see who I feel bad for are all the smaller streamers on Mixer. Where are they going? Is their fan base gonna follow them? It's sad.
Yeah, I know some people have started already, and there's been like partner. Again, it's like
they have immediately partnered people.
Yeah, and it's like, heaven forbid, I'm still trying to struggle, and then those people easily get partnered. Like, what the fuck is this? But whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate Twitch doing that for them because, like, they know they already have a family and a fan base, and like they know that they could make money off these people. So why not partner them immediately? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess certain ones I feel like maybe should get it, but it shouldn't be like. If they're handing out like that, how like hot takes, it's almost saying like, we're not gonna. They're helping the people on another platform over their own people on their own platform in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
But bringing them in like they did though was good.
Yeah,
their intentions were good. So yeah,
their intentions were good. I also I feel bad for the Mixer staff because they also found out the same day that we all did. They didn't have any heads up. They didn't have a notice.
And I mean, we haven't even talked about the main nail in the coffin that caused this to happen. Was that story? It was that one person's story related to the whole Black Lives Matter thing, and especially what's going in this industry. He came out with that story, and then they came, and then, like, not even was it like a week prior, like, oh yeah, we support blah 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 blah, right? They come out with that, and they're like, oh, we'll change or whatever down the road. Not even a week later, he comes out with that story, and then he's like, oh, I'm talking to Phil Spencer. We're having a meeting. The head honcho, the main guy of Xbox and all of the gaming thing, the main guy, the same, it might have been even the same fucking day. He had that meeting, and then what happened?
Boom!
Just like Thanos, he just snapped and it just went away.
Snapped his fingers.
Phil Spencer's like, I ain't got time for this shit. We got a new console, and we're killing butt with Game Pass, and we got this new technology. Yeah. We got the cloud save coming about. I ain't got time to deal with Mixer bullshit. Let's just get the fuck out of here. We know we're losing anyway. We got what we need. Let's go. Yeah, that was the fight. That was it. That's what it did. Yeah, and it's weird because, you know, you even at TwitchCon, you would see people with Mixer shirts on there because they didn't even have their own event like that, and it always felt kind of weird.
Yeah. Because. Yeah, Twitch is the big one. Mixer didn't have an event, but where do you see your fans and meet up? A streaming platform convention, you know?
And somebody says on Twitter, I couldn't find it, but it was fucking great about, like, they missed on a chance of Mixer having an actual Mixer. I was like,
yeah, oh my god, they really did, though. They should, at the end of the month, they should have an online Mixer. They should! That would be fucking great as a send-off.
Yeah, but... They didn't give a good send-off to begin with. I highly doubt they give a shit now.
Alright, I'm gonna change the subject up a bit.
Okay, I'm like almost out of order already, and I'm like, I feel like I want to refill, but I'm gonna suck it up.
So speaking of these big streamers, where are they gonna go? What are they gonna do now? Are they gonna do new things? Are they coming back to old platforms? Are they gonna stop streaming and just become, you know, YouTubers? Who really knows? One of them who was not on Mixer, Dr. Disrespect, he was banned. Permabanned on Twitch. Why? I don't know. Do you know?
Nope.
What I do know is after all this allegations of sexual harassment and whatnot, Twitch has been going ham on their policies. They're trying to make sure that everyone is abiding by TOS. And I guess Dr. Disrespect had a few things on him, and they have to, like they said they were promising to, follow their word. So they banned him. We're not sure why. We don't know where he's going to go, but we know that he can go to a lot of places and still be successful.
I wonder if that TV deal he has is still in place now, or if that changed.
I feel like it's still in place until we find out what he was banned for. You know? Because he could 100% go to YouTube and have the exact same following.
But that's the thing, right? It seems like we're never gonna find out. At least that's the way they want to keep it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer.
I don't know.
A lot of people are speculating that it has to do with like sexual allegations against, like harassment allegations against him, but there has been zero stories about that right now. So who really knows what it's about?
Yeah,
who really knows if he still has a career?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't know if the contract for the TV had an association with
Twitch
or Amazon
or yeah. Maybe
we don't know because if he's off Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe that'd be again. He could. I don't know contractually like if he could make another contract, but like get one of those YouTube shows. I mean, I don't know if YouTube Rev's still around or anybody cares anymore, but
I don't know if anyone does care about that.
No, but
I know people do that for no ads. You know what I mean?
So, but I don't know. He could do that. He could be like, I still want to do the show. They sign a contract with him for that. He gets so much to stream, and he still gets to make that show just on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah. So who really knows what's happening with him?
But yeah, a lot of people are getting permabanned and stuff.
Because they're cracking down. They're really trying to show us that they do care.
So then back to the blackout thing. Like, I know you mentioned earlier that there was, like, not as much of an effect, but do you think... Because, like, right after that happened, like, kind of like later that day or day after is when they kind of really started doing it. So do you think there was some sort of... Or was that they were going to do that regardless? Or was that be like, all right, fine, let's get rid of it and just go?
I personally think they were going to do it regardless because right now it is... I hate using this term, but right now we tried to cancel culture, but it's really hard for especially Gen Z to understand that we're not trying to cancel people. We're trying to help them learn and grow. And a lot of companies right now are like changing things up to either, you know, be part of the cause and help the cause or to save face. So did they do this to save face? Did they do this because other people are doing it and people would call them out if they didn't do anything? You know, I think it just was a cherry on top that we would have Blackout Wednesday and they would notice how much money they would have lost, you know?
Maybe. I mean, because you can say the same thing. It's like, it's almost a Black Lives Matter movement over again in terms of, like...
You can say the same thing, exactly.
Like, Ubisoft, right? They're having issues. Yeah. They came out with the thing saying they're going to take care of it. I'm assuming Insomniacs will come out with something because they have stuff too. All these companies going to each give their own statements on this also.
Yep. So I think this is them making a statement and then saying, look, we actually do care. Look what we're doing, you know? But why did it take this long? It's because as a society, we're all fighting for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's caused us... Okay, so I guess we should get into the real heart of this. This is where it's going to get a little... maybe uncomfortable. And it's going to get really real because I do have, like, a lot to say about this, but basically... The last week or so, all of a sudden, and it's not just this industry in general, but it's the main focus. It's what's getting the articles and things like that. It started one story and basically multiple stories almost every single day. Even until now, there's a new story. It was more limited to streaming specifically. Then it became streamers. Then it became viewers of streamers. Then it became partners of people, and then became people in the industry.
Yeah, and then it kind of grew into the big head honcho, the CEO of Twitch too.
And certain people positions of power at Twitch. And you know, it's like we're streaming on Twitch, so I mean we're taking a little bit of a risk here, but I mean. I want to know. I mean, most of these stories involve all these things. Most of them have been done to women, and now a lot of men as well have come out. But most of the time, at least 90% of what I'm seeing, the perpetrator is male, regardless of who is on the receiving end. When men, women. I mean, all the guy stories I've seen, it came from a guy that was doing it and not a woman.
Yeah.
How do you feel as like this industry as a whole, seeing all these stories of it like happening now? What do you think the industry does need to change? I know there's gonna be a lot of questions, but what's your thought on this whole thing ever since all these stories started breaking out?
I mean, I'm gonna say it honestly and truthfully, it doesn't surprise me. Being a female gamer, you know, like there's like one or two things that could happen. That is usually what happens. It's either, oh, we're a girl, we suck, or, oh my god, you're a girl, hi, you know? And it just kind of branches off from those 2 points. And all these allegations are like the ones that are mostly on the like, hey, how you doing? Oh, hi, sexy, you have a great voice. And it does suck because the gaming industry grew up being mostly male dominant. And now that we're having a bunch of women speak up and do all these things, it's like, oh, this is a problem. Like, I don't know. I like dealt with this a lot, and I understand where everyone's coming from. And I even made some Instagram stories today about people just like wanting to see my boobs and stuff. And it honestly doesn't surprise me that some streamers in power are using and abusing what they have and thinking it's all right.
And it's just like it's not even just that. It's just a lot of these stories are just like being physically forced into sexual acts, you know, and just hearing these, it's just
what I think needs to change though is the mindset of what you put out into your community, you know? Because like there are like toxic streamers out there that like thrive off toxicity. Why should we allow that onto the platform? You know, it only makes it worse.
One analogy I used before, I got so much to say on this, and I could go on a whole tangent. I'm so sorry. But one analogy I was using before was that it's when we were growing up, right? It was like in pop culture, the nerds and the geeks and people with video games were seen as a certain stereotype. They were seen as weird, strange, making people feel uncomfortable. And then for an industry that's done all of its might to show that's not what it is, but in reality, it has shown that deep inside that is what it is. We lived in that. We've now become that stereotype that was originally put on us.
I'm trying to see I have like two different stories of like what started this all.
But
do you? What makes me mad? What makes me mad? First of all, it pisses me off that this has happened to so many women, because it's one thing where it's like, okay, yeah, you see comments and stuff and things like that, but so many stories of like women being forced to do certain things or have been part of something for so long is really frustrating. What I think makes me like most angry, and this is somewhat selfish of me to say, and this is why I want to do what we're doing. This is why I want us to change, and I think we can change it. It's the industry. The gaming industry is really big now in esports. That's the new big thing, right? And that's cool.
Yeah.
But I think part of the industry is lost. I think part of it that was around when I grew up and all that is gone. It's turned into its own kind of monster. It's easy to say you want to burn it to the ground and start over. I mean, I've thought that, but I believe that we can do it a different way. I believe that through this, the industry needs a reminder of why we got into in the first place to play games, because all the shit that's happening here is what happens in other industries. And I know it's a common sort of thing, but this is video games, right? It's people take advantage of it. I'm most upset about the fact that people have gotten jobs, whether they were qualified or not, or the hookups. They got a job, or they got a partnership, or they got whatever offered or given to them because of some guy wanted to sleep with them or something like that. And the fact of the matter is, it's that I could say that's demeaning and showing disrespect to people that have those jobs. I'm not saying they can't do those jobs or anything like that, but if somebody who's been struggling to get into this industry, then to see that this industry just randomly picks these kind of people because they're attracted to take advantage of that really pisses me the fuck off. And I hope these people, whether they were given that or not, are doing good and they do their jobs well. And I'm not trying to hate on any of the women in the industry, But the fact of the matter is, that's what makes me upset, is that people are like automatically and people who say, oh, you don't have the requirements for this or whatever. And I can guarantee you, a lot of the people in these positions never had the full requirements to do it. So anytime somebody tells me that I'm not required or enough to do something, I'm like, but you guys in the industry decide to go this route. You said it was okay. How am I supposed to take anything of what you say seriously or take any of your judgments seriously? You could say, oh, this is what it takes to do this or whatever, but it's like, you as an industry as a whole decide this was okay. And everybody's going to use the excuse, well, I didn't know. And yes, you can maybe not know, but at the same time, we're not talking about 4 or 5 people. We're talking about in the double digits, high double digits. And it's like, you hear things of like, oh, this person kind of heard things about this person and nobody did anything about it. And I'm sorry, like, it's hard for me to have mercy to, like, it feel like the industry is just, like, trying to take my heart away. It was hard enough as it is. I was already having certain issues with the industry, but now that this shit has happened, it's like, even the people who are, you know, positions of power or friends like that, I almost want to be like, I don't care how hard you work for this position that we're in. I almost want to say, like, screw you to all the people who are trying their best to work in this industry, or those who are guilty or who kind of knew about it but didn't do anything. I feel like taking it from you, and I'm sorry, that makes me sound like a terrible person, but it's like, you guys took this industry that I loved, you never gave me a fucking opportunity of this shit, and there is good people in this industry. There's some really awesome people in this industry that are already in the business, and and they're great. And I don't want anything taken from them. You know, I don't want to take them away. But at the same time, the fact that I have to have that thought about the fucking video game industry. That industry based on a thing that existed for us to get away from this world, for us to join and play together, and to turn out to be the exact opposite. I should have never had the thought of, oh, but there are good people in the industry. It'd be like, no, there's people in the industry. We love video games. And there shouldn't be any more to it than that, you know? And again, people are always going to use arguments like, well, it's like that in every business. It's like, I don't give a fuck if that's your argument.
Say that. It's like, well, that shouldn't fucking matter. It shouldn't happen in this industry. It shouldn't happen in any other industry.
It's fucking
Why bring that up as a, you know? Yeah. Like, we should have a community based on the love and passion we have around video games and not, like, abuse that.
Yes, and that's why I felt that's dead. That's what's died. It's that it's so focused on this esports shit, which is great. That's cool, and I know that's a different industry. But I'm telling you, half these people that run this stuff, which are all mostly younger than me, people that are also getting in this street are almost all younger than me. You could say, oh, age is not a factor, experience is not a factor, but to not be a part of this when you grew up, like, watching G4, we saw the industry grow. Yeah. Right? I'm not saying not bring these new young people in, but I'm saying the fact that I have to get a specific thing in this, or that I have to have a certain degree, or that I can't get an internship, and it's just... It's so frustrating, and I hate this fact that's like, oh, well, you should try to do stuff yourself. And yes, that's true, you should, but this industry that's already there and these businesses, they shouldn't force that thought upon you. You should be able to make stuff yourself if you want and work in this industry, or do how I would work, is like get in the industry and learn as you go and make stuff. That's the way they used to do stuff like that too. You know, and they've cut that off because it's like, oh no, you have to do stuff yourself first, because if you don't, then that's it. That's it. You know, and I feel so stuck because I feel so stuck because I'm 30, you know, and I'm too old to get into this college internship stuff. I've seen all these people. I'm watching all this stuff of people in colleges getting esports and all that stuff, and that's amazing. But none of that existed. When I went
none
to
of
college.
that existed when we were in college.
None of that stuff existed. So I was like coming out here, right, to be like, oh, you know, all I got now, the only shot I got is just meeting the right people, honestly. Yes, I can always build up skills and learn certain skill set, But honestly, I think that's the only shot I have, is getting right opportunities and connections. And if you had the passion there, if you got what it takes, such as us being a host and shit, which we do, then we can always improve on the rest. But if you got it, you got it, is what I always say. And I'm sick and tired of these people taking these jobs from us and performing all this shit. And it's, and it's bad too, because then something else, which I won't get into, something else related to something that I was a part of before, I've had, that's a little more personal to me, that's a little more related to actually my life. Stuff has come out about that too, and that's also pissed me off too. And I'm mad, and I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed. But this is it, Kendall. This is us doing this. This is what we need to do. We need to bring back that fun thing of video games, instead of worrying about business and bribing people and all this other shit. It's that's why I said it's so hard not to want to say to burn the industry down. But I don't think we need to do that. I think what we need to do is bring that light of that gaming industry that's died and bring it back to life, because there's some sparks. You still have some companies like GameSpot and IGN, no matter how you feel, there's still a little bit of that press there, but it's not quite what it once was. And even then, there were stories from the past ad issues too, which is sad. But even hear stories about the press and how the bosses would treat people like advancing and all that shit, it's those aren't the people that grew up and like love games. And if it is, that's really sad. Like, what the hell happened? What the fuck happened? I could go on about for a while. I'll try to stop here, but I'm sick and tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of it, and I'm tired of having kept my mouth shut for so long and being okay with things the way they were, and people are like, well, that's the way the industry works, you kind of have to find your way in now. I'm fucking tired of that shit. Like, I have no problem right now going up to any fucking panel with one of these people and just talking with everybody and facing them directly in a public or group of people. My dumb ass, I mean, I say stupid shit all the time, too. I'm not better than anybody else is. But people like us, like Kendall, I know they're out there, like the people in this community. There's us out there, and I'm sick and tired of people and be like, well, that's not the way it is anymore, bullshit. It can still be.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of sucks that, like, us, as, like, the older generation of Twitch, like, we kind of have to, like, fall into this pattern of what, like, more successful but more, like, younger people are doing, because they have the opportunities we didn't back then. And it's like, we gotta change it up. It's like, okay, but you can't tell me how to change it up, because then it probably won't, like, it could pass or fail, like, it's...
Yeah, it was either... We're too old, so we missed the opportunity, or the only other shot we had was we hopped in first at the right time, and we did it.
Yeah, which we did not. I got lucky by going into YouTube, going on YouTube, but that channel is now having a lot of heat. So it's like, can I retain this? Can I retain what I've already built just now? Like, will I grow from this, or will it just dwindle? Like, it kind of does suck, because it is all like, it does suck that, like, this whole industry and a lot of industries are like, who well, guess what, I know a lot of people. I know a person who literally is the manager of Inside Gaming. She can't do shit for me,
Yeah,
like,
and I'm almost at the point to be like, well, be careful what you say, because you might ruin your connections or whatever and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't have any fucking connections or anything anyway. Like,
yeah.
To be like, careful because you're afraid or whatever, it's like, I'm kind of done with that. The industry is, the way the industry has been heading and stuff like that right now, it's like, I almost don't have enough respect for it, or for the certain people that work in it, to be like, I don't care if I ruin your connection or not, or something like that. I'll almost, and that's the thing. It's like, you don't know who's good and who's not anymore. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I get the trolls and the things on the internet of, like, saying inappropriate things to women and stuff like that, because we were single, lonely guys, and women never paid attention to us, and we're like, oh, women care, blah, 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 let's hop on that bandwagon. I get why people do that, but then to, like, just physically do shit still that's frat people or stuff did in college or that all these other people do, I was like, why did they have to go that far? Like, I get never been able getting action when you were younger because of who you were, but to be in power now and take that shit and then people to be like okay with it, or to people be like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, it's you could always say I don't know these people or they fooled me, and that's true. That happens. You know, we can't like see who people are. We don't have a mind reader. But when so many happen and so much happen, there is some sort of pattern or there's some sort of common sense that's got to say, I've seen this a couple times. I'm starting to get what's happening here, and do something about it. And that's never fucking happened. That's why I'm sick and tired of hearing that fucking excuse or reason. You know, whether it, and it's, I'm not saying that's not true, but still, it's like, come on, guys. Like, really? This is not 5 people. This is a head honcho bunch of people here that we're talking about.
But that's why you and I have to, like, we have to create that change, you know? Like, it starts, honestly, with the people who have the same mindset.
And I believe there's people out there. On. And again, I'm afraid I don't want to be like, you're diverse, you're a woman, we have to give you position now. I don't want that shit either. I don't want to be, you know, I want everybody to have the equal opportunity to do it. And whether they get the job because of passion, because let's face it, a lot of people have gotten stuff in industries not necessarily based on what their skill set was. I'm sick and tired of like, oh, if you don't have the skill set, you're like, I mean, that's partly true, but I've seen it happen, so I'm not buying that shit anymore, even now. And then, you know, or have the skills or whatever. It's just about the person and seeing that passion and care for the industry, regardless of their race or their gender and all that stuff. I don't want these things of like, oh, we need to be more diverse. It's like, hire the people that care. There's all sorts of diverse people. There's all sorts of genders and races out there that care about this industry. It's just like, it's a feeling. You know it when you feel it. Don't give me all this stuff of having to go through all this legal ramification bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, get your heads out of your asses, guys. Come on. And I'm the dumbass from St. Mary's County. The fact that I have to say all this stuff just shows what's wrong, right? I shouldn't know any better, but why do I feel like I'm the smartest person in the room sometimes? That's sad.
Sucks. It does suck.
It does. But
yeah,
I believe you and I, Kendall, like, if we start this thing and it really goes somewhere, I believe that we can influence that change. We can influence that it can be fun, it can be safe, and we get to talk to people and just reminder why we play video games, to take us to different worlds, to be happy, to make us feel things, to connect with other people and not have to yell derogatory shit online or in person, to not get so heated about tournaments and stuff like that. I mean, it's fun to get heated, and that's part of the fun, but still, not to buy our way into shit and things like that, because then it's like, oh, these people can buy their way in. Oh, but you tell me I can't, because that's not how the industry works. You have to have skills, but these people can buy their way into it. It's like, why should I listen to you anymore? But again, there is still some people around. There's still good stuff. I was watching IDN. They were doing a Pride thing today, which was awesome, raising money for that. They're still raising donations and stuff too, which is great. And things like that, you know. And that's the worst too. I fucking hate it when there's some of these like people that have been like, that have done this shit to people in this industry, and then if they like raise money for charity and all that shit, it's like,
oh, everything's fine.
I fucking hate
that. Oh, I hate that.
And they'd be like, well, then
like,
who
they're
the fuck?
Still a shitty fucking person.
Yeah, and it's like, well, then you don't fucking raise charity for shit or whatever.
Yeah, are you raising charity to save face? Like, I'm pretty sure you have that money already to fucking donate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, did you match what you got from that charity stream? Like, I don't know. I just like, and that bothers me. It's when people in power abuse it. I hate that.
And all the people who are donating and giving them the money, whether they're a single crazy person they're part of a couple. They have families with kids. They're giving their hard-earned money to these people. It's hard for me to be like, how are y'all not see what I'm seeing? And it's the average person. I get some people being played, and I equally feel bad for them, but also feel like, you know what? It's on you. I can't feel anything for you. Or I wish there was some way to like all the money the streamer got just to force them to give it back to those people. Just either force it to give them back to all the people that donated, or give it to some sort of charity or some shit. But no, I mean, it's frustrating enough when like you're trying to work your way up, but then to see that it is about like being the right person, right time, or having the right people and stuff like that, and that's some of it. But man, I'm fucking done with this shit. But I believe we can do this, Kendall. We can do this. We can really change stuff.
In all honesty, this sounds a little odd coming from me because I come off as a very like appreciative, and I love my community, which I really do and whatnot. But I have a super hard time appreciating what I have. Like, I have a hard time appreciating the journey to something. Mm-hmm. I have a super hard time just like being okay with being content, because my end goal is exactly that. It's like to have a community, is to be comfortable like within the community as a leader, and also be comfortable financially. And I just feel like this is a lot of things. This is not just like Twitch as a career or anything. This is like a lot of things, and I just want that end goal. But sometimes there are days where I feel like, man, do I even deserve any of this? Because what I really want is that end goal and not what I have now, which is still freaking amazing. Like our charity stream, I thought we would have random people coming in and out, you know, because of all the advertisement we've been doing. But we made all of that just through the communities we made, you know, like prior to that. Like none of them are really new people. And that's the day I was like, fuck, man, why? I feel like I'm so less deserving than what I think I deserve. And that's really the mindset I have to work on, is being appreciative of what I have. And I think only then and only then is when we can actually start believing in the change we want. And then that's when it'll start working for us. That's when things will actually begin, you know?
Yeah, no, it's that too. There's been days where I like want to give up and stuff like that, but then I think about, especially the last couple months, like the people I've met and the goals I've had, and to start off with this is it's really refreshing. It's really and that's what helps me feel this, is knowing that these group of people that come and watch us and seeing how these people are and the way they are, that's the proof that I need to be like, it is worth it. It is worth it giving this a shot. There's still that spark there. And we have to find that balance of being thankful for what we have and appreciative. And one thing which I've always wanted to do that I struggle to do so much, which always is being in the moment of it. Especially at events and stuff like that. I always want to be in that moment of event, be like, oh, I'm at E3, or oh, I have these people watching me, or I'm talking with these people online, I'm playing games with these people. And it's the balance of finding that, but then also making sure you're not too content to set some goals and know to achieve it. It's that equal balance, because you don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to do this and just try to do it, but you also don't want to be like, I'm content if it happens, or whatever, because then you're not going to get anything done. And that's the key. I think you're right. It's that balance. And I think what we're going to be doing is something that hasn't been done in a while, but I think it's going to be unique and different enough. And I think hopefully through our work, we will try our best to maintain that balance, because we're going to be we're going to start small. I mean, I have big ambitions. I know you do. You have way more big ambitions than this than I expected when I originally talked to you about it. we've started working on it. We've started talking about like what our kind of goals are. We started talking about this is where we want to take it next, and this is what it could lead to, and things like that. So, so now we're starting to develop that base, and then you just again, it's like if people like the content they see, then they'll help spread the word, and they'll do that. I mean, we can do that on our own too, but what really helps is the community selling it. Without the community and people watching, it's
it's like disheartening when you worked on something for so long and then you like hyped it up in your mind and then it's like it didn't turn out to what it was. But like that's the thing, you still have to appreciate what it became.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's hard.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's and that's the thing is we're all here for each other. Like if you need something to hear that like you deserve it, I'm gonna tell you because I think you do. I think you deserve what you have. I think you deserve more than what you have, honestly, in terms of like your stats and things like that. That's what we need. We need to like all work together and build this up. But I think this is the start of something. Like I said, I started another gaming podcast before thing on YouTube, and I from the get-go I knew it was kind of DOA, and that's ended up being what happened. But I don't feel that with this. I mean, we've already been just over a month already. I mean, that's it was a dream to me. I'd be like, nice if we make this for a month. And like I told you from the beginning, I said I think even maybe on the first stream or something like that, I said, I won't believe this podcast thing is legit until at least 6 months down the road, and we're still going.
Yeah.
I won't believe it. I don't want to throw all my heart into it, to have it be just like destroyed. So if it's 6 months happened and maybe close to it, then once a year hits, I'm like, okay, this might actually be a thing. And then beyond that, and if we start seeing that, if we go beyond a year and we start doing different stuff, and then we start getting like, okay, this is becoming a legit thing. Maybe one day this could be an actual job, and then you go a little bit further, start again to like first year and a half to second year, and then if we get like somehow get financial support or things like that, then that's when I'll start believing it. But I mean, if it's, but then again too, sometimes you might get lucky, you have that big spike, and you can always hope for that. But we gotta take it one step at a time.
Yep.
You go from there.
Yeah, but I think before we get any further, get off a tangent.
Yes.
I think this is a great place to end it.
Mm-hmm.
Follow your dreams, appreciate what you have, keep working hard, and most importantly, create a safe and supporting environment.
Yes, please. Just treat other people with respect.
Oh, yeah, honestly. Like, why is that so hard? Why is that so hard?
Yes, just, I mean, get the cancel culture is like the hip thing, but when I'm seeing cancel culture on Twitter, I'm just like, yeah. It's got, like, just when you think it's getting worse, it's gotten worse. I'm like,
it's gotten worse.
I feel like I'm like living in a cartoon now. Like, what the fudge is this shit? All right, so let's get out of that. What's everybody been playing, Kendall?
Guess what? I forgot to talk about it last week, but the new season of Fortnite is out, and people are actually playing Fortnite.
Really?
They're back at it, playing Fortnite. So? You heard me right. Surprisingly, it is not as hyped as it used to be, but it is still up there. Good for you, Fortnite.
And they were still watching movies, right? Were they still doing that Christopher Nolan thing where they're like watching movies?
I'm pretty sure. I'm 100% sure, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. What have you been... What about you? What's something everybody loves playing?
Well, right now, I finally tried something that people have been playing for a while, which is No Man's Sky. I tried it out for the first time. It's one of those games where, if you know its history, didn't start out very well for the gaming industry. It was originally hyped as like the second coming almost, a little too overhyped.
Oh, really?
It came out, and it just fell flat on its face. It really bombed. Even worse than, like, Battlefront 2, honestly.
That sucks.
And then since then, it's been out, what, like 6 or 7 years or so. Surprisingly, it stayed alive. The developers worked on it. And from what I'd heard, now it's basically kind of close to what they originally promised. And you know what? Good for them. Cool. Good for them for not giving up on that game and refixing it. Because that's something that could have easily just... So, and I tried it just to see, finally, after all this time. I'm 50-50 on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
I think...
It was like, you got something disappointing, you know?
Yeah, well, because I thought, I was like, I had a feeling, I was like, oh, you can explore worlds and stuff. I was like, and there's a story, but I had this feeling, I was like, this is going to be a little too crafty for me, and that's the feeling I'm getting.
Yeah.
When I streamed it, one of my viewers came in who, he came in, and he played it, and we actually played together on stream. He hopped in, he played with me. I never played the game with him before or anything like that, and he gave me some tips. So I was like, oh, everybody's still playing this. There are people that still played. He was talking about, you know, he played like 40 plus hours of it with his friend during the quarantine because there was nothing else to do. And they, you know, didn't play much of the story like I was trying to, but they went off, did whatever for 12 hours, and they seemed to enjoy it. So I'm glad, since it's recently come to Game Pass, that people are giving it another shot and that they're liking it. I don't know if I'm liking it as much, but excuse me, but it's not that it's a bad game, it's just not, I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, that's what a lot of people have been playing again recently, surprised as No Man's Sky. Still hanging in there.
Good for them.
Good for them, yeah, really. What a comeback. Yeah, yeah, so that's what everybody's been playing. So, I think we're going to wrap this stream here because we did go a little long. So, in the meantime, guys, that was our episode. I know it was a heated topic and things like that. This should be up by Tuesday. In the meantime, make sure to follow us on Twitter at GAG Podcast. Leave us your thoughts there, comments, suggestions. Also, hop in our Discord for that as well. Be sure to follow Kindle on Twitter and Twitch. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch, and then we'll be back next week. I don't know where our topic's gonna be for next week because good Lord knows half of this stuff appeared on Monday. Who knows what's gonna happen, but it's gonna be very exciting. Thanks again, guys, for supporting us and always watching us. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the GAG Podcast.